Hello everybody, Ruby Mile here, coach of your Cleveland Bros, bringing you today's Week 3 PPL D2 battle against the Osaka Eevees and Colton. Now, last week we came off a 3-0 loss to RhyQuinn, and we didn't play our best, and he played out of his mind. We still had a chance to win that one, but that's all in the past. Looking forward to today's match. His team is everything I thought he would bring. It was a toss-up between Nidoqueens or Gothitelle to stop my Florges, maybe trick choice scarf on that. So I didn't bring the Florges actually, even though he has the Mega Sableye. I thought I had other things to deal with it and didn't need the Florges. But like I said, everything he brought, the Sableye, Nidoking, Jirachi, Tentacruel, which I am expecting to be physically defensive for the Emboar, the Chestnut to be physically defensive for the Excadrill, and the Rotom Heat for the Mega Slowbro. Now, the only real question is what type of Rotom Heat that is. I will find that out in one of the earlier tunes. So, before we get into the match, let me start off by saying the team that I'm bringing, and that is Bam Bam the Emboar. He is holding the Flame Plate with enough speed to outspeed a defensive Rotom, or an uninvested Rotom, with Flare Blitz, Flame Charge, Earthquake, and Head Smash. I had Wild Charge on there, but got talked down into the Earthquake to take less recoil damage. Both would be 2-hit kills on a defensive Tentacruel. Wild Charge would kill a non-defensive Tentacruel, but Earthquake was just the all-around better move to go with. Flame Charge is there for the situation I get a free switch against the Sableye. He can't really do much to me. Get the Flame Charge off, and as long as he doesn't have any Scarfers, Emboar will kill everything, aside from a defensive Tentacruel. Next up is my lead. It was a toss-up. Do I want to lead with my Emboar, expecting him to lead Sableye because I didn't bring my Florges? Or am I leading my Thundurus, which could 2-hit kill a defensive Sableye with Thunderbolt? Or I could Volt Switch, and if he leads with that Rotom, Thundurus is kind of my go-to mon for that. Next up is my Stone Cold Adamant Life Orb. Beat up Icicle Crash knockoff Ice Shard will be outsped by a timid Noivern if he brings it, but a Adamant Life Orb Ice Shard should kill. Beat up again. I expect a berry on something, particularly the Jirachi, and if he brings the berry on Jirachi and not a choice scarf, my day will be a lot easier. Next up is my Mega Slowbro. This week, I'm learning from last week that if I'm not bringing Aromatherapy on Florges, I didn't bring Florges, I need to bring Rest. And I noticed I don't need to really set up offense for Mega Slowbro to do something. I need to get to +2 in that defense in order to live a Choice Specs Thunderbolt from a timid Rotom. Scald will hurt the Rotom, and Psychic is there to hit the Chestnut and the Nidoking. Next up is one of my win conditions, my Landorus Therian. He is holding the Yachi Berry. It was a toss-up. Do I want to bring the Yachi Berry, or do I want to bring the Lumberry? One being for the Sableye burn / Rotom burn, the other being for an Ice Beam, Ice Punch, and a Hidden Power Ice. I decided that the Yachi Berry was the way to go because it gave me more opportunities to set up a Rock Polish and potentially sweep his team. Earthquake kills a lot of things except for the Mega Sableye. Defensive Mega Sableye is the only thing stopping my Landorus. Stone Edge kills an offensive Rotom. Hidden Power Flying is a good roll, great roll, to kill a max defense Chestnut, which I'm pretty sure he's bringing. For my last Pokemon that I'm bringing is Shredder, the Excadrill. The first thing I noticed is that Earthquake Mold Breaker kills a whole hell of a lot of his team. I'm also bringing Rock Slide and Rapid Spin because for the Noivern and because Stealth Rocks suck. And finally the Aerial Ace for the Chestnut. For a defensive Chestnut, it's taken less than 50%, but it's better than letting him set up a Belly Drum substitute. It's just something that needs to be there so I don't get swept by the Chestnut. So that's who I'm bringing, and right from the start I know I have a great matchup, and let's see how this match goes. So to start the match off, I lead with my Thundurus Therian, and he leads with his Rotom Heat. This is a phenomenal matchup for me because now I get to see what this set is without having to switch anything in. I go for Psychics right off the bat because it does the most damage to them, and it does a little less than half, like my calc would say. He goes for the Hidden Power Ice, and I eat that. I eat that very well. He switches out, and I noticed he had two things that could take a Psychic pretty well. One immune, one resists. I decided to switch it up and go for a Dark Pulse. He switches in his Jirachi, and what do you know? He's holding the Dark Reducing Berry, and I pop that turn 2 and still do a phenomenal amount of damage. This is great for me. Turn 2, I'm looking good. He switches his Jirachi out and goes into his Nidoking. I switch out because I'm afraid of this thing outspeeding me. I'm modest and not timid, so an Ice Punch would kill me from this range. I switch into my Slowbro. He switches out. He goes into his Tentacruel. I switch out as well, expecting a switch on his part. I go into my Landorus. He's got the Air Balloon. I can't touch this thing. I need to switch out. And I expect him to go for an Ice Beam. And I knew I could live one Ice Beam. And it does enough that another one will kill me. I go for the Thunderbolt. He has enough speed to outspeed me. This is not a max defensive Tentacruel, which means that Emboar would have a nice job. I go into my Mega Slowbro. The matchup I just had literally 2 turns ago. And I don't think this thing can really touch me. I go for the Amnesia, he goes for the Acid Spray. I hate Acid Spray so much. It's caused me so much headache in the past few matches I've had. So essentially, I drop 2, and I raise 2. He goes for another Acid Spray, and I just need this Air Balloon popped. So I go for the Psychic, and I kill him because it's a crit. He had enough EVs to live a Psychic from Mega Slowbro. And now that I'm -2, he brings in his Rotom. I switch out. I know he's not going to go for a Overheat. He may go for the Hidden Power Ice expecting my Landorus, or he might go for the Volt Switch. So I thought that Excadrill is a good switch in here. I go for the Earthquake, outspeed, down goes the Rotom, and the first kill for Excadrill this season. Now at this point, he has a free switch into his Chestnut. This is terrible for me. If he has Substitute, he can go for it right here. I switch out. I go into my Landorus. Not really, Landorus was probably my most expendable mon here, but he pulls a double switch and goes out into his Mega Sableye. This is not a great matchup for Landorus, but luckily I have a good switch into my Emboar. And this means I can go for a free Flame Charge if he stays in, but he decides to switch out again and goes into his Jirachi. Now this Jirachi outspeeds me and could kill me with a Zen Headbutt. I switch out, go into my Jirachi counter, and that is Mega Slowbro, but he goes for the Stealth Rock. I could have killed Jirachi right here. Instead, in comes my Mega Slowbro, and he goes for a Grass Knot. This does over half, and I decided I don't really need Mega Slowbro anymore. This Jirachi's not Scarf, and I decided to do damage. He makes a prediction and goes for the Iron Head. Unfortunately, I flinch, and right here, this is a big move. Slowbro takes 24 damage from a switch into Stealth Rocks. I had 35 HP. I decided that I needed Mega Slowbro to stick around, and I had the opportunity to rest on that Mega Sableye. I switch out with 35 HP. He goes for the Grass Knot here. I switch into my Excadrill, knowing that it is a damn good counter to this thing. And he does some damage here. It's a crit. Crit doesn't matter because I outspeed and will kill next turn. But looking at how much HP this Jirachi has, he's in the red. I did a calc. I know his switch in here is the Chestnut. Aerial Ace does between 9 and 12% to Jirachi. Jirachi looks like he has about 20%. I can't give him another free switch into his Chestnut. I make the prediction, go for the Aerial Ace. He switches out and goes into his Chestnut. And look at this damage. This does over half which means he can no longer belly drum and set up on me, and my day has become that much easier for Excadrill to win me the game. Now, at this point, I just need to get damage on this incoming Mega Sableye. I switch into my save counter, which is my Emboar. As he Mega Evolves and goes for a Will-O-Wisp. Doesn't affect Emboar. Great switch on my part. I go for the Flame Charge. Look at this damage. Flame Plate. That's not a 2-hit kill, but it gets my speed up, and it means that I will outspeed his Jirachi. I will outspeed everything as long as it's not Scarf. Right here, I'm thinking Emboar is going to pick up a win. Emboar is going to pick up the sweep. Does over half. He knocks off my Flame Plate. Not a big deal. I know that another Flare Blitz will kill this thing. I couldn't let Sableye stick around and keep recovering up because the recoil damage will eventually be enough to kill myself. I go for the Flare Blitz. He sacks his Chestnut here. Good play on his part. And just like that, Emboar picks up his first kill of the season. In 3 games, I brought it all 3 games, and it finally picks up his first kill. Now, at this point, he brings in his Nidoking. Flare Blitz will kill Nidoking, but he goes for the Sludge Wave, which means he's Choice Scarf. Down goes the Emboar, and this leaves me with 2 potential plays. I could go into my Excadrill, click Earthquake, something dies. Whether that's him sacking off his Jirachi, him letting Nidoking die, or Sableye taking 2 Earthquakes and dying. Or I switch into my Landorus, which will not be killed by the Sludge Wave. I can set up a Rock Polish, outspeed everything, and kill. But I make the play and just go into the Excadrill. I save Landorus in the back. I still have Slowbro. And at this point, he switches out, hoping that I am adamant. I go for the Earthquake. That's a dead Jirachi. I hate Jirachi. He cost me a big game last season, week 2. And now I'm glad to finally kill this thing. He switches in his Nidoking, hoping that I'm adamant, not jolly. Earthquake kills this Nidoking. And now it's 4 on 1, that one being Mega Sableye. But here's the thing, Mega Sableye has a little bit less than half. This Earthquake is a roll. If I don't kill with this Earthquake, he can recover up and really stall out a lot of my team. I'd have to let something die, bring in my Mega Slowbro, fish for a Scald Burn, keep resting up, and this would be another 20 turns to hopefully wear him down enough that I can kill him. But I go for the Earthquake, and as you can see, I get the roll. I get the win. Excadrill, late game. 4 kills for Excadrill. And with that, we pull off the 4-0 victory in Week 3. Now, just to recap here. Week 1, we beat Juan. Week 2, we should have beaten RhyQuinn. Week 3, we pull off the 4-0 victory. This is the potential for 3 wins to start the season. Meanwhile, our Week 2 opponent, RhyQuinn, lost Week 1, should have lost Week 2, and lost to the team that we beat Week 1. So, things are looking great for the Cleveland Bros. Next week is a big match. We play Ellie. She has been dominant the first 3 weeks, and hopefully we can stop that. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next week, and let's go Bros.